Many people the world over wonder what is it that is so special about India and its culture. What is it that made this civilization the oldest unbroken civilization? What is that which makes India tick? I wonder if you have thought about it. And there are many foreign thinkers, one of whom is a Frenchman, Francois Gautier, who is concerned about the rapid westernization among the educated elite like us. And he says, and I quote him, "What will happen if this continues? Rampant westernization," as what he calls it. Not only will India lose its unique soul and become just another Western clone, but the earth will lose something very precious. It will lose an ancient knowledge, an irreplaceable way of being, which makes even the ordinary farmer or a coolie carry something unique in his genes, what makes him dignified, refined. A tolerance, an acceptance, an innate philosophy, an understanding that there is something beyond the world, beyond death. And spirituality in India is epitomized by the Himalayas, because in ancient times it is in the Himalayan valleys, pristine beauty, grandeur, magnificence, that these mysteries of life were unraveled. And therefore it is that the Himalayas, right through the centuries, attracted the best minds, the greatest intellects, who were in search of enlightenment. Now today we go there for tourism. And we come back and say, have you been to Gangotri? Have you been here? Have you been there? As if it's like going to the Swiss Alps. But the uniqueness about Vedanta is that you don't have to go to the Himalayas now to gain this knowledge. You can get it here and now. All you have to do is research, explore the inner landscape, and reach the pinnacle of perfection within. Explore the frontiers of human capabilities. One of the most unique features of Vedanta is that nobody is disqualified. Vedanta reaches out to every single human being and takes us from an ordinary mortal being that all of us believe ourselves to be, to an extraordinary immortal being. And this is one of the most fascinating concepts of Vedanta. Once you embark on the journey itself is so thrilling, so captivating, that there is the greatest danger of getting involved in the path itself, and therefore the Upanishads caution us against it. So much is the temptation, or so captivating it is. What is unique about it is that there is a method for every kind of human being. You could be the highest intellectual. You have the Upanishads and Vedanta. You could be an ordinary person, and you have a path for such a person as well. Why is it that no one is disqualified? Why is it that they say that every single human being, no matter where you are or what you are, can lift himself or herself up to the highest level of perfection? Is because, let's take an example. There is this mighty sun above. But on earth, wherever there is a reflecting medium, there is a reflected sun that appears. And what is incredible about this reflection is that the moment the reflection takes place, the reflected sun loses its original properties. 40,000 degrees centigrade, maybe more, I don't know. Huge size. Tremendous heat and light, tremendous power that the sun has, becomes a minuscule 1 centimeter circumference sun, which is a temperature of minus 5 degrees centigrade. How does this happen? Once you understand how this happens, then you can understand what's happening to us. How this happens is that the moment there is a reflecting medium, the reflection takes place and there is a complete disconnect between the reflected sun and the original sun. The reflected sun takes to the properties of the reflecting medium. So as the reflecting medium, so is the reflection. Now let's get back to us. With us, it's the same thing. Every one of us is Atman, that mighty sun. You know, in the Gayatri mantra, Atman is Brahman is referred to as the sun. And therefore, it is considered one of the most powerful mantras because it gets you to that awakening of, like in the morning, the sun rises. Similarly, on spiritual enlightenment, this Atman, the sun rises within you. And it is to that Atman that we pay obeisance, we pay homage, that we offer tributes. So, now what happens is, wherever there is a reflecting medium, and what is the reflecting medium in us? Mind and intellect. Wherever there is this mind and intellect, the reflected Atman appears, you, me, the individual. But the moment the reflection takes place, you lose the original properties of Brahman. Where is this immortal, infinite, all-pervading, eternal, all-powerful entity, and where are you and me? There is no connection. And yet there is a connection. So once there is a reflection, you take to the properties of the mind and intellect. If your mind is vicious, you become a vicious personality. If your mind is weak, you become a weak personality. If the mind is strong, you become a strong personality. If the mind is benevolent, you become a benevolent personality. But all these properties have something to do with the reflecting medium, not your original self. And therefore, the main theme of the Gita, the Upanishads, Vedanta is that you are not who you think you are. Because you think you're the reflection with all its distortions. We're all distorted and therefore distracted. The moment you understand that your real nature has nothing to do with the distortions that you see in the reflection, life becomes extremely enjoyable. Life becomes thrilling. And this is what Krishna's life was all about. Krishna was born realized, therefore he is called an Avatara Purusha. Person who is born realized is one who understands that his real nature and the reflection that takes place has no connection. Just as when you see children go to an exhibition, and one of the features in that exhibition, it used to be many years ago, I don't know what it is now, there were mirrors placed. There was a hall of mirrors, a corridor of mirrors. And at every junction, the mirror was deliberately distorted so that when you stood there, when children stand there, suddenly in one mirror you appear like a cylinder, elongated. In another mirror you appear nice and round, fat. In another mirror your face is all distorted, crooked nose, one eye here, one eye there. Now when children see themselves in the mirror, it is a source of great amusement to them. They laugh and laugh and laugh, looking at the distortions in the mirror. What is the source of their enjoyment? The fact that they understand that their original nature is different, that they are perfect, immaculate, unbroken, undistorted. This knowledge, this understanding, this conviction gives them the capacity to enjoy the distortions that they see in the various mirrors. Right? A person who does not have this understanding, the moment he sees a distorted face, what will he do? Immediately fix an appointment with a plastic surgeon to fix the nose and fix this and fix that. That's what we are all doing. We're all trying to fix the distortions, and the worst part is, the tragic part is, that you're not even able to see that the distortions are within. These distortions that are in the mind then get further reflected in the world, and so where do you see the distortions? Not within you. It's only a wise person, as they call it. Dhiraha is a person who sees the distortions within. The rest of us, vimudhaha, as he says later. Throughout the Gita he calls us that. What happens? These inner distortions then get further reflected outside. So where do you see the distortion? In your mother-in-law, in the boss, in the neighbor, in anybody and everybody. So the first step to spiritual enlightenment, the first step to knowledge, the first step to becoming a dhira is to understand that the distortion is not out there. I see it in the mother-in-law, I see it in the boss, I see it in the neighbor, I see it in my competitor who's driving along, I see it in a rickshaw driver. But where are the distortions there in my mind? Because, see, when you are disturbed and agitated, when you are in a frustrated state of mind, you let go at anybody and everybody. Isn't that true? The same you, in a calm state of mind, you are able to deal with situations. Then you don't see the distortions there. Then you don't get upset. So, when within you understand it's all your mood swings. One moment you're in a good mood, everybody is nice to you. You feel that. But actually it's you who are being nice to everybody. And when you're in a bad mood, you're barking and biting at everybody. Because you believe that the imperfection lies outside. So, you don't know your real worth. Because you're only seeing the distorted reflection. What Vedanta says is, and you see the whole world, all the scientists and all the technologists and all the great thinkers, economists, politicians, they're all dealing with what? The distortions in the reflections. Nobody is there in the world who's, you see, all you need to do is let go, just understand. These distortions will always be there because the reflecting medium is imperfect. The mind is imperfect. All you have to do is switch your attention. Switch your attention from the reflected sun to the mighty sun above, and then all your problems are solved instantly. That's what the 15th chapter is saying. Yes, you may be frustrated, you may be angry, you may be poor, you may be rich, you may be intelligent, you may be whatever it is. These are all qualities of the reflection. At any moment, just let go of the reflection. Let go of the reflecting medium and switch your attention to the original mighty sun above, which is Atman, your real personality. And instantly you're released from this agitation. You're released from the stress. This is the only way of overcoming stress. Even temporarily, if you think that, oh, this is not me. This is a reflection. It gives temporary relief. But if you have the courage and conviction to go the whole way, my God, you'll get to the state of Krishna. Whatever happens around you, good, bad, indifferent, you have a jolly good time. That was Krishna's life. His entire life was just leela, just fun. What did he do? Steal butter? Steal the gopis' clothes? Please don't go around doing that. You'll get into trouble and then blame me. Played the flute, he was a cowherd boy, whatever he did. And his life was a simple, whether he was a king of Dwarka, ruler of Dwarka, or whether he was a charioteer, Arjuna's charioteer in the middle of the Mahabharata war, where he had no stake in the war whatsoever. And yet all the arrows, the ammunition was pointed towards Arjuna, who was behind him. That means they had to go through him to get to Arjuna. Never was he stressed out, never was he tense, never was he upset. And he lent a charm and benevolence to everybody. This is your real nature. So every time you get stressed out and angry or frustrated or negative, being here 6:30 to 8, at least till you get home in the car, however long it takes. The longer it takes, the better. Why? Keep quiet and try and relive these thoughts. Don't suddenly jump into the external world and say, oh, so-and-so is like this, and did you see the clothes that so-and-so was wearing? And, constant negative thoughts. At least the journey back home, keep quiet and recollect these thoughts. After that, you can start negativity. But this is it. So all that you have to do is understand you are Atman and live whatever life that you want to live. Whatever life you are living now, continue that. Just understand that you are Atman. Go through your activities like an actor plays the roles that he is playing. Recently in the, Filmfare Awards, Rani Mukherjee got a, there see? So quickly the answers come when it comes to worldly things. Philosophical question, if I ask, pin drop silence. Yeah, she got the Best Actress Award for the movie Black. There, the role that she was playing was one of deaf, mute, blind. The trick to this magnificent performance for which she got Best Actress Award is that right through the performance, she knew she was Rani Mukherjee playing the role of this character, the young girl. And therefore it is that she enjoyed every moment of the role that she played, and yet she played that role magnificently, so much so that you and I watching the movie will not believe that she can see, hear and speak. Magnificent performance. So I am not her fan, please, I am just giving an example. Learn from that and understand that in real life also, as against real life, the parallel is that you and I are Atman playing various roles. The moment you understand that, the moment you remember that I am Atman playing the role of an agitated housewife, I am Atman playing the role of a stressed out student, I am Atman playing the role of a harried businessman, I am Atman playing the role of whatever it is, you will enjoy yourself thoroughly and you will play that role with your heart and soul to perfection. And then what will happen? The world will give you an award, not Filmfare Award, real life award. The world will be at your feet. Next example, like an adult, how does he conduct himself at a child's birthday party? Your own 5-year-old's birthday party, how does this happen? The children are so excited about balloons and prizes and what else you call it? Back presents and chocolates and biscuits. You know these little things, eats you get of different shapes and sizes. And they get so involved with it because they say, you have a tiger and I want a dog, and biscuits or chocolates in different shapes and sizes. The taste is the same. Ingredients are the same. Only the shape is different. But that difference in the shape gives tremendous drama and competition between children because one person who has the mouse wants the dog, the person who has the dog wants a tiger, and so on and so forth. And then one balloon breaks and the child is miserable. The world has come to an end for the child. But you as an adult who is accompanying the child to the party, how is your, don't tell me you also sit down and cry. You enjoy every moment of it, and when the child cries, you say, what are you crying for? You say, one balloon has gone, you get yourself another balloon. And you are the greatest philosopher at that child's birthday party. The moment you come home, half an hour later, your adult balloon goes. And then you sit down and cry. And some adult who's watched all the tamasha going on says, you were great at giving a lecture to the child, the balloon has gone, why are you crying? And now why are you crying? Why? Because the maid has put double salt in the food. And there is pandemonium in the house, much more than the child at losing a balloon. This is it. And the third example, an outstanding example, is that of a waker re-entering a dream that he has woken up from. You know, there is a gentleman who has been wanting to get married for the last 15 years and is still unmarried. So the other day he came to me and said, you know what, I got a fabulous dream last night. I said, what is the dream? That I met a young lady and my marriage was fixed and the marriage ceremony was going on, and just then, this can happen only in the dream. Suddenly I looked at the lady I was supposed to get married to and she had a donkey's face. And the shock of seeing this, where? In the dream. The shock was so great that this person woke up. Okay? Now having woken up, suppose he were to re-enter the same dream with the knowledge of the waking state, will he get a shock at seeing a donkey's face on the lady he is about to get married to? What will he do? Don't tell me he goes and gets married to a donkey. He will go through the motions of the dream. Whatever he is supposed to do, he'll do. What he is not supposed to do, he won't do. With exactly like an actor goes through a certain role. But no involvement, no agitation, no stress. Now come back to us. This, the Gita tells us, is exactly like another dream. Another dream that someday you'll wake up from. The only difference is, when you wake up from a dream, you don't need to put in effort. But to wake up from this fascinating dream, you have to put in a lot of effort. That's the only difference. Someday you'll wake up, and when you wake up, you'll say, Arey, what was I eating my heart out for? For just a dream? Imagination? That conviction, or forget the conviction, the suspicion that perhaps this is exactly like the dream that I had last night, makes a philosopher out of you. So, understand you are Atman and go through the activities tongue in cheek, objectively, and then whatever be the experience, pleasurable or unpleasurable, joyous or sorrowful, honorable or dishonorable, you will go through every one of these experiences with great joy, tremendous enjoyment, tremendous enthusiasm, energy. Every moment you're looking forward to living life. Today, that's not happening because you've got hopelessly involved in the dream. So therefore, you need to put in that effort, and this is what the 15th chapter is talking about. We'll now continue with verse 5.
Nirmana mohajita sanga doshaha adhyatma nitya vinivrutta kamaha dvandvair vimukta sukha dukha sangai gacchantya mudha padam avyayam tat.
That eternal goal is obtained by the undeluded, who are free from arrogance and illusion, nirmana moha. Jitasanga doshaha, have conquered the evils of attachment. Adhyatma nitya, who are constantly dwelling in the self, have completely overcome desires. Dvandvair vimuktaha, and are totally free from the dvandvas, pairs of opposites like joy and sorrow. So what is the starting point of all our endeavors in life? The starting point of our endeavors is a sense of incompleteness. Every one of us, from birth to death, from morning to night, are haunted by a sense of unfulfillment. And this restlessness comes because of this emptiness that you feel within. And when you feel emptiness within, what happens? Thoughts emerge in your mind and intellect, and these thoughts go out into the world to procure things, objects and beings in the hope of filling this void, fulfilling this incompleteness that you feel within. And in your lifetime, you have obtained a lot of things. Many things you've obtained. Is that not true? Has your emptiness gone? Has it even reduced? Has it ever occurred to you, why has this happened? Why is it that in spite of obtaining so many things, this emptiness has not only gone, not just not gone, but not even reduced? If this question had occurred to you,